Have you ever felt like you're just drifting, kind of going through the motions? Well, today we are diving into a really powerful framework to change all that. It's a 30-day plan from Grandmaster Richard Hackworth, designed to help you reboot your life and go from being a passenger to being the active designer of your own future. So let's get right into it. And look, it all kicks off with this really powerful idea. So often, we overestimate what we can do in a year and then we get disappointed, right? But what we totally miss is the incredible potential that's packed into just one single focused month. This whole plan is about grabbing that short-term power and using it to make long-term change. So here's the main idea, making that shift from drifting to designing. Drifting is when you just sort of fall into someone else's plan for your life, your boss's plan, society's plan, you name it. But designing, that's when you consciously and intentionally create your own. This 30-day framework, well, it's your toolkit to make that exact transition. But you might be asking, why 30 days? Why not a week or a year? Because 30 days is that perfect psychological sweet spot. It's the Goldilocks zone. It's long enough to actually forge a new habit and see real results. But it's short enough that the finish line always feels close. And that's what keeps your motivation sky high. It's all about creating real momentum and fast. Okay, so this whole plan is built on 4 core pillars. Let's start with the absolute foundation. Pillar number 1, which Grandmaster Hackworth calls mindset gardening. This is all about getting your internal world right before you even try to change anything on the outside. And this metaphor is so important. Your mind isn't just this thing that exists. It's a garden that you have to actively take care of. And let's be clear, this isn't about wishful thinking. It's about the conscious, daily work of pulling out those negative thought patterns, the weeds, and planting positive, empowering ones in their place. And if you're wondering why this is so critical, get this. We have, on average, 60,000 thoughts every single day. Now, if most of those are weeds, self-doubt, criticism, fear, then your garden just has no chance to thrive. This number shows you the sheer scale of the battlefield inside your own head. So here's your first mission, should you choose to accept it. For the next 30 days, every time you catch yourself thinking, this is too hard, your job is to consciously uproot it, rip it out, and in its place, you're going to plant a new seed. This is an opportunity for me to get stronger. Trust me, that one little shift is an absolute game changer. All right, let's move on to pillar number 2 and see how these things build on each other. Once you start cultivating your inner world, you need a map for the outer world. And that's your success GPS. This is all about defining your direction with crystal clear goals. But here's the secret about goals that most people just completely miss. The real prize isn't just crossing the finish line. Nope. The true transformation, the real magic, happens in the process. The journey of chasing a worthy goal fundamentally changes who you are, for the better. Think about it like this. Let's say your goal is to read 5 books this month. You aren't just finishing 5 books. You are becoming a reader. You're becoming a more disciplined, a more knowledgeable person who actually values growth. That identity shift, that's the real victory right there. So you've got the mindset, you've got the goal, but how in the world do you actually get there? Well, that brings us to pillar 3, the habit engine. Think of habits as the vehicle that will drive you to your destination. And the cool part is, they work just like compound interest, but for your life. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Success isn't about one heroic, spectacular effort. It's the result of all the small, consistent actions you take day after day after day. Excellence isn't something you do once in a while. It's something you become through your daily habits. Now, the approach here is really simple. Don't try to change your entire life overnight. That's a recipe for disaster. For these 30 days, just pick 1 or 2 power habits, the ones that will have the biggest domino effect. Then you track your consistency every single day, and you just watch as those tiny gains start to compound into incredible results by day 30. And listen, this part is absolutely non-negotiable. You have to track your habits. I don't care if it's a check mark on a calendar or a fancy app on your phone. The simple act of measuring your progress keeps you accountable, and it dramatically, and I mean dramatically, increases your chances of success. And now we've arrived at the final, and honestly, maybe the most powerful pillar. This is where the rubber really meets the road. Pillar 4 is all about taking massive action. And it comes with a pretty surprising twist. You have to learn to embrace productive failure. I know, right? That's a fantastic question. It sounds completely backwards, doesn't it? A plan for success that actually wants you to stumble. But believe me, there is some deep, deep wisdom behind this idea. And here's the answer. Failure is actually a sign that you are operating at the very edge of your abilities. If you get through this entire month without a single setback, you know what that means? It means you didn't aim high enough. You played it safe. And ironically, playing it safe is the biggest risk you can take for your own growth. So what we need to do is completely redefine failure. It is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Failure is just feedback. It's valuable data telling you what didn't work so you can adjust your course and find the path that does. It literally points you directly to where the real growth is hiding. Okay, let's pull all 4 of these pillars together now, because the ultimate goal of this 30-day plan isn't to be perfect. No way. It's about making consistent progress and, just as importantly, understanding the forces that actually shape your success. And this brings up a crucial point. Your environment is almost always stronger than your willpower. You can't just rely on pure grit if your surroundings are actively working against you. So this means you have to deliberately shape your environment. Get an accountability partner, tune out the naysayers, and organize your physical space so it's set up for focus, not distraction. Now, to make all of this really stick, end every single day with this simple reflection. Just ask yourself these 3 things. What did I learn today? How did I grow? And what am I grateful for? This little practice shifts your focus from what went wrong to what went right, and it builds a positive feedback loop for the next day. And that last question about gratitude, it's everything. You know that fear of change and fear of failure can be absolutely paralyzing? Well, practicing gratitude is the most powerful antidote we have. It literally rewires your brain to focus on opportunity and abundance instead of scarcity and risk. As we wrap up, I want you to really let this quote from Grandmaster Hackworth sink in. The daily effort this 30-day plan requires? Yeah, it's real. But that pain is nothing. It weighs ounces compared to the crushing weight of looking back a year from now and wishing you had just started today. And that leaves us with one final, very powerful question for you. The next 30 days are going to pass no matter what. You can't stop time, so the only question is, who will you be when they're over? You can be the same person, or you can be someone stronger, more disciplined, and a whole lot closer to your goals. The choice, as always, is yours.